Hey there, crypto heads. It's the Goose with the Cryptic Paranormal Show. How the hell are you guys all doing? It's going to be just a whatever night, para hangout, whatever you want to call it. We're going to look at some weird, scary, spooky looking freaking AI videos, AI related stuff.
When did this all start that we're looking at freaking scary ass videos on the show?
When you suggested loading weird, scary ass TikTok videos like 2 weeks ago,
I never suggested that. No,
it was
I don't even
it
know
was
how
your
to
idea.
TikTok.
I'm gonna find it on here. I'm gonna put it up.
Yeah, put it up. I want to see it. I want to see it. Let's put it up.
While I'm looking for it, like if you're serious, how's everything going, Denise? How was your week?
It's been pretty crazy, but it's been good. No complaints. Working on some new merch, which we can't talk about right now.
Yeah. New merch. It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait to sell it. You guys are gonna love it. Every
Goose
piece
did
of it.
post a spoiler the other day.
Yeah, but they don't know what it is. So, yeah,
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh Lord. We do. I kind of went on a ordering spree over the last couple of weeks, so it's gonna be good. Oh, sorry. Heisenberg?
Yeah.
How are you, man?
I'm all right. I'm getting used to. I got new contacts today, or I got like a different prescription. One of my right eye's a little bit. It's supposed to help me read better, but I'm not seeing it that much.
No.
Oh wait, there you go.
So, so you got the headaches and dizziness going on?
No, I just can't see shit.
Oh, okay.
Everything's blurry, like it was like if I was. Because one's for the reading, one's for the distance. It's a whole bunch of bullshit.
What are you supposed to do? Like close one eye when you're driving, and then close the other one when you're.
Basically, I want to get the bifocal contact lens, which is the next step.
Yeah, that sounds like old man shit.
I know. Well, you know what it is. I was at the freaking doctor today, like I said, and I go, yeah, I'm having a little trouble reading. He was like, yeah, and then just like,
okay.
He goes, did you try the readers?
All right, it was Denise that said it, so never mind.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Oh, was it me?
Yeah, you should know. You know what we should do? Get some crazy ass TikTok videos about aliens or ghosts.
That was my idea. That's a terrible idea. Do you know how scared I've been watching my own freaking TikTok lately?
I know, I'm like on the algorithm, so it's like all UFO and TikTok.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I love how you actually thought that I would say, let's put a bunch of TikTok videos on.
I didn't think that you said TikTok. I thought you said scary videos, but
no, that's for our own channel.
Oh,
okay, all right.
No, watch the scary video reaction video.
I already put those all up while you were not paying attention.
Okay, sorry. Hey guys,
let's go for it. Hey,
I was trying to prove Heisenberg wrong, but as per usual, I couldn't do it. So we're just making shit up. Hello, Teresa. But yeah, it's been a weird week in the news. A lot of, as usual, political shit. But still hearing quite a bit about the UFOs, and I think it's funny. Most people are just, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about UFOs, honestly.
I heard a commercial that said, don't listen to the government telling you about UFOs. They're trying to distract you from blah, 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 blah. I kind of lose interest and don't really listen to I skip it. Skip ads. But I know there's one out there.
Like, I heard the beginning of a commercial.
I'm not sure how it ends.
That was informative. Thank you.
Right.
Hey, I put it out there.
No, it's true. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists that are not believing in aliens now because the government said that they're real.
Yeah, they're like, what the fuck?
Now I can't believe in them anymore.
Like I said last week, I believe the guys who've seen them in the air, the airmen. I don't think they're making that shit up, but I think
they are.
The government is.
I think they're all having fun with it.
So how you'd been? My feelings were getting.
Whoa! Look at Heisenberg.
Oh wait, I didn't do the mic.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, Dale Gribble. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
God damn it, Bobby.
Flickery.
Propane accessories.
I should watch that show again. It's a good time. There's probably a lot of shit in that show that is like relevant now.
Oh yeah, he was a big conspirator. They throwing everything out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just like The Simpsons. Like, how many times have they've proved things like years and years ago that's actually happened?
I don't know about the Simpsons, man. They've got some kind of voodoo magic or something. I'm not sure.
Time travelers, maybe.
But as you guys talked to you guys about it, and I've talked to other people about it, but the real scary thing right now is AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
To a point.
It was all fun and games when you can make yourself look like an anime character, or like my profile, I look like a king, and I'm not. But now you can clone voices. I got videos, we can look at those. It's a scary thing, and it's exploding, and I don't think it's going to go away, and I think it's going to be a huge problem.
No. It's actually crazy because you guys know Elon Musk doesn't like the government telling him what to do.
Right. Fuck Elon Musk. You know how I feel about him.
Yes. But he did an interview and he was saying that, we need to put some regulations on it with the development of AI, because it is legitimately the biggest threat to our entire planet, not just the United States.
The guy that designed a self-driving car.
Right.
It's going to make sure we can link to the internet no matter where we are. Yeah.
I mean, but honestly, that should tell you something.
Yeah, it tells me he's full of shit, but it tells me.
No, he stands to make the most money off of AI, and he's the one who's like, hey, we should pump the brakes on this shit.
But think about it, because he's probably got some shit that he's patenting, and he's like, everybody chill out. Because I got some great shit coming up here. You guys are going to mess with it.
Like,
he's got some invention that he's trying to hide. That's why I'm saying let's step back on AI, because he's going to overshoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope he's also working on a contingency plan for if AI gets out of control.
He ain't working on shit. Right. Just driving around naming his kids X and stuff.
That is funny. Like, why make that change? Why change the brand, the logo? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But
I don't know.
That's him. And I'm sure somebody already else has that logo. I'm waiting for that to be on the news. Somebody suing him for taking the X, because it probably looks like 5 million other logos that companies have already.
Right.
That X is shaded just perfectly to be the one that I'm suing you for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So it's been a weird week.
It is really weird. Go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
The last couple years, I mean, it's been just one fucking weird thing after another. Like, every day is like, I feel like every day is something so crazy that we're to the point where like it doesn't faze us anymore. Like, I saw a Facebook meme that was like, could I please not go through something catastrophic today? Like, could we not have history making news today? That'd be great.
Why not?
Yeah, look at
it. Is everyday history making day?
No.
Hey, Mom Bear.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's a
what
weird
are you telling the aliens for?
What?
Come on, Mama Bear. Hey. Listen, AI is good to our point. It schedules all my interviews for me. So
you schedule interviews with AI?
AI does it for me.
Wow.
People come in there, they pick a time, bam, 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 bam. It's basically just a scheduler, though, early. So I do about 13 interviews a day. That's why I don't freaking talk on the show half the time.
I got you. You're just done talking.
That makes sense. It's like the housekeeper who has a messy house, and
yeah,
the mechanic who drives a shitty car. You don't want to keep doing the same thing when you get home.
I don't even need to look at the interview anymore. I have it memorized.
Well, I would hope so if you're doing 13 a day.
Yeah.
Well, 13 don't answer, obviously. Otherwise, I'd be.
Yeah.
Well, some of them hang up on me.
Why? I mean, that's a whole nother. We could talk about that another time.
Yeah. I'll tell you work stories some other time.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think. Go ahead. I didn't really have anything to say. I didn't have anything to say.
But yeah, I don't necessarily think, like, I know we have a lot of videos of like the robots and stuff, but I don't even know that that's the scariest part. I feel like there's probably people who could figure out how to take down actual robots. I think it's all the other part that scares the shit out of me the most. Like, I'm telling you, I watched a video, and this is not about politics, it's the point of the AI, but I watched a video of Joe Biden, looked exactly like him, talked like him, had his mannerisms, saying, I'm going to put all Republicans in concentration camps and put them in gas chambers. Like, it looked like he was saying it. You know what I mean? Like, so if you were not smart enough to be like, wow, that's obviously not something he would say.
People aren't smart enough.
That's what I'm saying. We've been taught our entire lives, if you can see it, you can believe it. And now we can't even do that anymore. And that's the scary part to me.
So then we go chase ghosts and Bigfoot. And we obviously don't buy into that.
But you can't even believe things that you see with your own eyes anymore, you know, because
or hear with your own ears.
Yeah, you have no idea what's real anymore. And that's.
See, I've been preparing for this my whole life. I never trusted anybody.
That's true. Honestly, that's what you have to do now.
This is my normal life, man.
Yeah, you can't trust anything or anyone. It's so crazy. And then, did I send you the video of the masks?
Yeah.
I don't click on any of your guys' videos anymore because I'm afraid AI was coming at me. Not for you.
Anyone can be anybody.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
You can't even believe, like, when you see somebody.
I know. Yeah.
Yes, Joe, you are welcome to ask any questions.
Absolutely, because that's why we are here. I just thought AI kind of is in the realm of paranormal because it's not normal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, and they're like shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, what's your question, man?
Right? That's so
right, Teresa.
It's so crazy. So you can't even, like, I don't know, like, if somebody goes somewhere and does something bad and then everybody's got a description, oh, he was an old man or whatever, like, and the person just walks away. It's like a movie. It's like a movie. Real life is like a movie lately. All the movies put together, alien movies, robot movies.
Well, with the SAG-AFTRA, they're protesting and on strike, and with the writers on strike, guess what Netflix is doing? And I think Disney's talking about following suit. They're hiring programmers that understand AI to just AI whole shows.
Yeah, and they have.
And just
What I think it's South Park. There's an AI show creator, and you pick the characters that you want in it, you pick the scenes, and you pick the topic, and it'll write a whole episode for you.
And the AI programs, you need like
I don't know, Tony. He said, was it real or AI? Because I guess
those masks are absolutely real. I've seen them like where they're not as realistic like human faces, but like I saw a guy that was several people trying on the new Freddy Krueger mask. Okay, and it's the same thing, and it moves with his mouth. like you cannot tell that it's not like movie makeup. It's a mask because he pulls her right off and then puts her right back on. It's insane what the technology for that kind of thing. I mean, I haven't seen that kind of shit since like the first Mission Impossible where they like printed out the mask and he was like ripping it off and on.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's another movie that life is like lately. It's so crazy.
So did Joe. What was your question, Joe?
He didn't ask it yet. Simmer down. Don't boss him around.
I just want to make sure he knows that we're ready to answer.
Are we?
And
Eddie and Darren are planning some kind of weekend getaway.
See, we're not the only ones that plan shit on the show. It's fine. Right. Welcome to the Cryptic Paranormal Show Planning Hour.
Right. Well, not only us, but our listeners.
It's an open forum. It's an open forum.
Right. I mean, we don't tell people what they can and can't put in the comments.
I did a load of video too about the whole AI voice scam too. I'll play a little bit of it. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's kind of long, but it's also something that's very scary.
This AI technology
so, as on your side, Susan Campbell found out, this is crazy. It doesn't take much of a voice sample to pull this scam off. This is so frightening to hear.
It really is. This truly terrified this mom, and this technology is actually improving so quickly. You really only need seconds of a voice sample to get pretty close to someone's real voice. The phone number was unfamiliar. Jennifer DeStefano almost let it go to voicemail. But her 15-year-old was out of town skiing. Maybe there had been an accident.
I pick up the phone and I hear my daughter's voice and it says, "Mom," and she's sobbing. And I said, "What happened?" And she's like, "Mom, I messed up." And she's sobbing and crying. And then I hear a man's voice say, "Put your head back. Listen here, this is how it's going to go down. You call the police. You call
out in your mind that was her voice."
Oh, 100% her voice. 100% her voice. It was never a question of, who is this? Or it was completely her voice. It was her inflection. It was the way she would have cried. I never doubted for 1 second it was her. That's what
Yeah, I mean, there's more to the story there, but can you imagine getting that call?
That is scary. That is really scary.
Yeah, here we go, Mr. Joe. My question is, even though nobody believes it, and we as paranormal investigators, informational investigators, do you believe that not seeing but knowing the truth is the same as faith and religion?
Ooh.
Huh. Let me think on that for a second.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Because when I go on an investigation, when I go to Madison Seminary, I know that there's something there. Maybe I don't know scientifically, but I have faith that there's something there. It's the same thing. Faith is just a really strong belief in something that even though you can't see it.
Yeah,
faith
but
is faith.
Religion makes you do stuff that outlines how you do some stuff, though. Like, you don't do this because it's not a good thing. You don't do that because it's not a good thing. Not so much of that, and believing in the paranormal, I don't think.
To me, there's no difference between us believing in ghosts and aliens and demons and stuff than it is to believe in a god or gods or any kind of I don't know.
I know. I'm just saying that's not the same as faith and religion.
Religion in and of itself is like. That's a human construct. That's something that was originally based on our faith and the higher power.
Right.
But it's taken on a different thing. But that's the thing. It's just people get into theological debates on how you're supposed to paranormal investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, because that's not the way the Catholics would do it, or the Presbyterians do it, or whatever it is. I
feel like it's the same as faith in religion, but it's not the same as religion.
Right. Yeah.
It's because the same Heisenberg's right. We don't have 10 commandments of ghost hunting.
Yeah, there you go. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same. The faith part is the same.
Faith.
But
yeah.
And plus truth is relative too. Like the truth of God to me is not the same as the truth of God's to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But my faith is in my truth. Your faith is in your truth, and some people don't believe anything.
Yeah, so when you put it that way, it's
They have
exactly
faith in the existence that there's nothing, or the non-existence of other things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
but
even when
no,
it comes,
go ahead.
even when
Finish
it
the thought.
comes to spirits and the paranormal, people have different, like my old boss was from India, and according to their culture, if you see a spirit, that means that they're there to collect you to go to heaven, essentially. So I don't know. So even people's belief in ghosts is totally different.
I can tell you, like, the whole reason I started even like getting into researching myself. You guys have heard this. The people who know me and have been fans of the show or listeners. I don't like calling you fans. You're just our friends that watch. That's. I mean,
I have a fan club. I don't know about you guys. So
You probably do.
You do, man. You do.
Eddie
I'm the
Pence
president and lone member.
The religion I belong to, you weren't allowed to believe in that kind of ghost or that kind of entity. You were automatically deemed either crazy or. The funny thing is, you were touched by Satan, but you can't believe in ghosts unless it's the Holy Ghost
or
any
Satan.
form of, or angels,
or
Satan or demons. But don't believe in ghosts.
Right.
What?
Believe in ghost-like things.
What's up, Tommy?
Even though the Bible is full of spirits.
Joe, that was a good question. I like having conversations like that. Trent.
Yes, Trent.
Yes.
I thought you were the founder, Trent.
Shit, Trent, we've been waiting for you to start the club.
Heisenberg started it himself. You know that.
I started it myself. I send myself packets every week.
The Heisenberg fan club mystery box.
It's basically just the sticker I send back and forth to myself like every week.
Is it a Heisenberg sticker? Like
yes.
The one we have? Or you made
it? It's a pack of camels. Okay. All right.
Oh gosh.
But yes, that's what I feel, Joe. I think we kind of all agreed.
Trent is the president.
Yeah. That is a good question, though. I mean, you guys in the comments can answer as well.
Absolutely.
Because I do like to get other people's opinions too.
I don't.
I mean, that's.
I like to have my own opinion and nobody else's. Joking.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters. I'm joking.
I actually saw an interesting conversation between there's a Catholic priest, a rabbi, and shit, what do they call it? An atheist, talking about the afterlife. And it was the same thing. Like, they all had their belief on what the afterlife is, but these three higher ups in their religion or non-religion, they all basically agreed on the whole fundamental of the belief itself. Does that make sense? It's like the religion is the construct in which your belief resides. But they were very open-minded, and they were cracking jokes with each other. I mean, it was fun to watch.
I just watched a TikTok about something about Ra, like R-A. God, I really wish that I would remember things like in full before I talk about them on the show.
Egypt stuff?
It was what?
Ra, like the Egypt stuff?
No. No, it was apparently in the 1980s, maybe 1981. Aliens came to Earth and were like basically possessed this woman.
Oh,
they were like, Ra! And then they left.
Oh.
No, but they were talking about like the different densities of our souls. And once we achieved these different things, then we would go and be part of like one collective. And basically, the aliens told everybody to not be an asshole. Not even kidding. That was like the different steps of
in the 80s?
Yeah, of like completing your journey. I swear it was 1981. And once you got to a point where like you were doing more things for the greater good than you were for yourself, then that's when you would ascend. It's pretty cool. But the
Makes
girl was
sense.
possessed the whole time, basically, because
Oh,
the
okay.
aliens were speaking through her. Sorry, you could read Joe's comment.
Okay, hold on. Excuse me, guys, if I'm cleaning my eyes out constantly because I'm having some allergy issues today.
I got it. It's the belief of what you know, and the religion is what you have been brought up to. Me, as an investigator, I believe that you have to investigate every religion. Okay.
Yeah.
And when I do hunting, I bring all open minds, and I will have open mind on all aspects. Absolutely. I think that's honestly rule number one for doing an investigation.
Right.
I think the first red flag for me when I go on an investigation with a new person is when they say that they're an expert, and
bullshit.
Sorry. And they say that there's one way to do things. I don't. That's why we don't go anywhere.
Right.
No, because I can't take you anywhere, D.
No, I agree. I think theology is really important in many ways in what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like in cases like if you're like helping somebody in a residential case, and knowing their beliefs helps a great deal.
I was born in '83.
I was alive.
But if you go to a house and say they're Jewish,
mm-hmm.
I mean that's an important piece of the puzzle when you're investigating in a house.
Yeah,
it's not saying that the entities is Jewish, but you have an understanding of what the family believes,
right?
So you always have
what
to
their
take that
concerns
into
are.
Yeah, and that's when you kind of always have to do the deep dive and the rabbit hole diving to see if there's any correlation between their belief and what they're experiencing in their house.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, it's all ghosts or afterlife or whatever, or electrical problems. But it's important, and I love talking to different people of different faiths and what they believe. I mean, it's important. You have to have an open mind. Period. End of story.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that like you were just talking about, I think that if all the religions would talk to each other, they would realize that their stories are all pretty much the same.
They all know that already.
I don't think they do, because they fight over shit.
They don't care.
Much.
It's all about power, man.
That's true.
Yeah.
They know that everything is the same. I mean, everybody knows that. Most religions are the same, with a minor hit or miss, something taken out.
Yeah. Right.
That's basically, what I'm saying.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So they know that.
And even like, Egyptian stuff, like Native American stuff, like I don't understand why we don't realize that, like, okay, we have the same things, we just call them different names.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even certain pagan faiths are older than Christian religion. They have the same base story.
Right.
Because everything was based off everything else.
I know. Right.
Right.
And yet, during the medieval time period, when Christianity started becoming the dominant religion,
I will tell you a good Christianity story if you want to hear one.
Okay.
Now I'm going to mess some stuff up, but this is going to be a general thing, okay? Because I don't know the name of the tribes and everything. All right.
I really need to blow up just him so we could just
don't
focus in on him.
No. So there's these. I think they were off the Hudson Bay. The indigenous people up there. Some missionaries came. They were all fine, right? Everybody's chill, cool.
Yeah.
The missionaries came, taught them religion. There was a group that went off a little bit. Started calling one of the guys Jesus, and started calling the other one God, and decided that they needed to kill people to prove. So I just tell you, these guys were fine,
right,
until some church people went over there and fucked them up.
Yeah.
Like they were like it, and they like went after other tribes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And religious wars are still happening. We still have.
Oh my God! Yeah, I mean, the major wars that are brewing right now. I mean, the biggest one is politics, and it's about power.
Yeah.
Whatever brewing between Russia and Ukraine. But like the Middle Eastern battles, those are all
Yeah.
that's really based on religion and just hatred of Americans. But it's at its base, it's jihad and it's religion.
Right.
Most
Yeah.
wars, so many wars have been fought over religion. Religion is the cause of so many needless, pointless deaths and murders. It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
But that's just my take. I don't want to go.
That's
down
why you're
that
not supposed to
rabbit hole.
talk about it, right? Religion,
Right?
and
Yeah,
politics.
right. And I usually don't like religion, politics. That's the two
Yeah,
things
we
I
don't talk
never
about
want to
that.
talk about. Yeah.
Today we're like, fuck it, let's talk about both.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, when it has to do with what we're doing, like Joe's question, I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. And definitely to Trent's point, it does come down to respecting, you know, not just the location, but the people that
Right.
you're with. Because honestly, I always tell people, like, you get what you put into an investigation. So if you're going in there just being a complete asshole to everybody, not listening to anybody, like, that's a whole lot of negative energy that you guys are all putting out. You know, because maybe people aren't fighting back, but they're getting annoyed. They're, you know,
Yeah.
it's just all negative emotions. It's
Right.
and it doesn't end well.
Not usually.
Not for you, Goose.
Nope.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah. Anything else, Joe? That was a good question. I'm waiting
I
for
know,
another good
right?
one.
No, I'm done
Yeah,
with him. I'm done with the. I'm good. Good. I've talked too much.
I've talked too much.
I can see the steam coming from your head. It's like,
Right.
I could fry an egg on that son of a bitch.
I'm gonna power down for a little. I mean, I'm gonna chill out for a minute.
Power down.
Don't say power down. Dude. I know I've been watching all these videos because Goose is like, your homework is to find videos. And I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Joe says, I would say we were brought up to what we believe, right? Don't let anyone tell you not to believe, and if you believe it, but also believe in what they have to help. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
We don't shut out other people's beliefs. You still hold strong on what you believe always, but
Well, you can't shut out other people's beliefs.
you can either work with somebody
But
else.
people do, Heisenberg. That's the point.
Yeah, but you can only control yourself.
Right. And I think
I don't shut out
honestly,
other beliefs. You don't shut right other. Maybe Joe does it. I don't know, but
right. I mean, I honestly, that can be taken in so many different ways and applied to our society right now. You know, there's so many people, like, it's fine for me to believe something and for you to believe something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not fine to treat you like shit because you believe something different, right? And that
Right.
can be applied to a million different, like, fill in the blank issues.
Yeah.
And if people would follow that, we'd be good.
Right.
You know what? I wish I have that. I have a little bit of that in me.
What?
You know, like I don't know how to explain it.
Like shutting people out?
Shutting people out. There.
Yeah.
Like, it's very easy for me to do that. I froze. I mean,
So at the end of the day, Joe, I think we all need to believe what we believe. But at the same time, if you are friends with, working with, helping people that believe something else, all we got to do or not do is don't be an
there you
asshole.
go.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. Even though I joke about it, it's as simple as that.
Yeah. We should just make that like the fourth person on the screen.
Right.
We should just keep it up all the time.
I wish I could do that, but
you can. I'll show you how sometime.
oh, okay.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much our world in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
So we actually all met at Medicine Seminary, and when we do investigations there, there's a back porch where everybody, takes smoke breaks, goes outside, catches their whatever, just regains their energy. But we always end up sitting down at the table and we call it back porch talk. And we just jump down rabbit holes and we, before we know it, the sun's coming up and we haven't done any investigating, but that's pretty much what we do on the show. We just jump down rabbit holes and get everybody involved, and we love it.
Teresa says she must lack faith. My beliefs in this field have changed drastically over the 20 plus years of research and investigation. I know there's something worth looking into, but new data and new knowledge keeps what I believe evolving. And I completely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we keep growing. And I started with a group that was 99.9% all about debunking everything, which was originally not why I got into this, because I was having issues in the house that I was growing up in, having activity. But I just wanted to be in a part of a group, so I just did it. And I learned a lot because I was open-minded. I learned why certain things that we see as activity aren't, and we have to be careful about that. But things have evolved, and I've just continued to evolve. Like, at first, I was very skeptical of like psychics, readers, mediums, whatever you want to call them. I wanted all the tech. I wanted to like record everything, document, watch the flashy light things on the equipment. And, I was real skeptical of like spirit boxes and stuff like that. But then you kind of just, it gets saturated and you start seeing more and more of it. And then you start people that you're friends with. People like I'll just throw his name out, Jeff Fent, building these boxes that are absolutely amazing. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing amazing results and like communication. So then you kind of evolve into a more spiritual place than a technical scientific place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the end of the day, I just rather just walk a building and with my Jeff Fent spirit box and see what happens. Just experience it. Because I know in my heart it's real. I'm no longer at the point where I'm trying to prove it to anybody. I'm not trying to gain all this evidence to throw on the internet and try to make everybody else believe. Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe, you don't believe. I don't give a shit. I know what I believe. And I just want to keep experiencing that and keep learning for myself how to grow that knowledge.
Well, and I don't think that, Teresa, I don't think that means you lack faith, because you still believe, you know what I mean? You still believe in the afterlife. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't, then you would have stopped instead of, changing what you do over the last 20 years. You still have the faith. You just do it different.
And I think that's true for everybody. Everybody changes at some point. People change, just jump religions. One day I'm Catholic and then I meet somebody that I fall in love with and she's Jewish, and now I'm going to synagogue and changing my belief system because I like what she likes better than what I like. And that's not what the case is for me, but I'm just saying I've seen a lot of that. Just things evolve, like you said. Yeah. And it's okay. It's not faith-based.
I know. I've been to church a couple times since I've been married to Kate.
Yeah.
Never before.
I grew up in church. If you guys have ever seen the documentary called Jesus Camp about evangelical and Pentecostal church camps for kids.
Yeah.
And seeing the absolute hell and craziness that we had to go through as kids in those certain factions of Christianity.
Did you go to a Jesus camp?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. For 4 years, 4 summers in a row. And it was the same thing in one of those summers.
I'd lose my fucking mind, man.
my counselor, my camp counselor, we're out hiking through the woods. He's like, "Hey guys, you want to come over here?" And just like, he pulls out a pack of cigarettes. Okay.
What kind?
So all the other kids were like, "Oh no, that's like devil worship or whatever. It's not Christian." And they walked away.
It is.
And I'm like, I was always on the edge just because I thought everything was questionable. I'm like, I don't know how smoking a cigarette is gonna like
It's
just
worse than
automatically
everything.
send me to hell, because in that religion there's no in between. They caught me. They didn't catch my counselor. They caught me.
What?
Because your
I'm not
counselor
even kidding.
fucking told on you, man.
I
Right.
think he did.
It was a test.
he
It was
did.
a
It was.
Jesus test, and he
It was a
failed.
Jesus test.
That evening,
You better get your shit together, right?
F.
I was pulled up in front of the whole camp on stage.
Jesus.
They told
Literally.
everybody what I had done, and they had everybody pray for me.
Well, you needed it.
How
And
old?
they had
Please?
it's 12.
See, I would have flipped out on those people, man.
Yeah. There's literally about 20 minutes just wasting everybody, the whole congregation's time on saving me because I puffed a cigarette.
If they could only see you now.
Right. Let's talk about demons.
You should ask if you could be a counselor at Jesus camp.
There you go.
I'm telling you guys, whatever they say, fuck it. All right.
Right. You want to drag?
Yeah. Let me talk about Odin. Okay.
Would you like some vape?
Yeah.
Why does that name sound so familiar? Have we talked to Jimmy
He's called
before?
Mr. Haunted.
Like it.
Yeah, I'll have to look him up, man. Right.
I'm definitely gonna have to watch this documentary.
Well,
I think that might be the scariest thing I ever would see, so I'm not
Right.
going to watch it.
We should find TikToks of Jesus camp.
Oh, they're teaching like 11-year-olds that speak in tongues. Like, it sounds like gibberish. And I put it through a translator and it doesn't come out as anything.
Wait, they were
That's
teaching them
bullshit.
that?
Yes. How to feel in I don't know, at one with the Lord, like he's speaking through you. You know,
So
you just all of a
possession.
sudden,
Okay.
basically, yeah, it's okay to be possessed by Jesus, for God. What if you like accidentally flip a switch? You don't even know it. Next thing you know, you're talking about
You know how like
follow Ray and his holy hellness of smoking cigarettes.
I knew you were trying to become a cult.
people
Right. It is a cult.
people will be investigating at the seminary and they'll be like, oh my gosh, it said devil. And I'm like, okay, like, don't you think that the devil probably has better things to do than be at Madison Seminary on a Tuesday night?
They probably said,
Like-
you little devil.
Yeah.
Do they do they not think that like Jesus probably has more important things to do than possessing 11-year-olds at Jesus camp?
Yeah.
Anyways.
I can't believe there's a thing called Jesus camp.
Well, we called it Bible camp, but the documentary is called
Oh.
Jesus Camp. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Bible camp. Okay.
Yeah.
That's better, right?
It's the same thing. But
Yeah.
Yep.
It's supposed to be is.
but demons are real. Non-human entities.
There's a lot of talk on conspiracy talk that aliens are fallen angels. Isn't that what the
Oh.
devil is too?
He was
And
just an angel
actually-
that wanted to decide for himself what he wanted to do and make his own will happen. And he was cast from the heavens for it.
Well, we're already in hell. Ask Trent how hot it is in Arizona.
He probably smoked a cigarette in front of Jesus.
Right?
That's what happened. Or God, I'm sorry. Jesus is the Son of God. He was human.
What? Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking when he was telling the story. It doesn't make sense to me. Like that they're teaching them to speak in tongues. Like from every
Right.
scary movie I've seen, that means that you're possessed. Like
It
by the
happened
devil.
every Sunday at my church. But there's always the same woman every Sunday speaking in Latin, which I swear to God to this day was not Latin. It was just gibberish.
Yeah. Well, who's gonna know?
It's like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't matter how long I was in that religion. I would just look like, oh, what the fuck?
And were
Whatever.
people like, Preach.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody, people like the people dancing, like you see, like the funny things on
Yes.
TikTok. That's my church.
That's amazing.
And then there was always one guy who spoke in tongues in English. Same two
Okay.
people. So I
Yeah.
could,
Did
my
anybody laugh at
thought,
him?
my feeling. Oh, you guys we're all just over there like, what the hell is going on? This is ridiculous.
I would literally be
I was like, I
snorting.
really need a cigarette right now. God damn.
I'd have to leave.
But it's the same two
That's
people,
what I'm
and I swear
saying.
to God, my thought process was the pastor every week was pulling them like into like some kind of like pre-service meeting and saying, this is what the discussion, this is what the whatever, I can't even remember what they call it when they preach.
Sermon?
The sermon, thank you.
Yeah.
This is what that's going to be about. So make sure whatever gibberish you say is going to be matching up to the sermon. That's what it always felt like.
Wow.
Of course you can be possessed by an angel. You can be possessed by anything, right?
Stars for the Latin gibberish. No, I don't think it's a stupid question. I mean, if Jesus can possess you and the devil can possess you and demons and some random ghost at every location that Zach Baggins goes to can
but as
possess
investigators,
people.
we also have to like remember the difference between possession and channeling. And I think this is more along the line of channeling. But still,
that's way too complicated for me. So I'm just gonna bow out of the whole possession
possession is
conversation.
like it's in you. It's making you physically do things, think things that aren't you, talk the way you, I mean, yeah, the messages that are coming out of your mouth and the words are this whatever entity is inside of you, but it's possession is physical too. It's not just like verbal, it's like in you, making you do shit.
I feel like it does happen though, because I do, like, I always watch like feel good stories, and a lot of times people will say like, I don't know what made me decide to go to this place or whatever, like I don't know what made me go to that laundromat that day, but I ran into this person and they needed help and I was able to help them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's some sort of like divine intervention.
Yeah.
I wish that good angels would possess people more often though. I feel like we
costs
can use
a lot.
some of that.
It's expensive.
Angels
There's
only
a lot
possess
of people.
Christians, though.
There's a lot of people who can afford it, who can, afford to be possessed every once in a while.
But yeah, I mean, if a demon can possess, an angel can, because they're both basically the same thing, just on different sides of the religion, I guess.
That's a good point too, though.
Oh,
yeah,
it's unholy to possess somebody.
In his
and throughout the Bible, every encounter with an angel is like seeing like a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a white dove, or it's always a vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like the burning bush, God spoke through the burning bush, that type of thing. But even in the Bible, there's really not a whole lot about possession. It's about temptation, about, and again, Satan, like in the Adam and Eve, Satan made himself a serpent and told them to eat the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge. And that was the downfall for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
True.
That's a good
point.
Just depends on their boundaries.
Demons have no boundaries.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always felt that just angels and demons were just angels that weren't very nice. Same thing.
Right? Like, because think about like cartoons when we were little.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys were a little older. But they always had like the angel and the demon on their shoulders, and they were like the exact same, but one was red and one was white.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I always thought. They're both the same.
They're both just whispering in your ear, telling you which way to go, and it's ultimately your decision.
Right.
But like demonic possession is to me that's completely different. That's not
like Tina was saying, that's not a choice.
Yeah, that's not a choice.
That's like an earthbound non-human entity that's,
I don't know. I would say I don't believe 90% of possession.
No, neither do I.
Like when people say that they're possessed. I feel like sometimes people use it to just be an asshole. They're like, oh, I don't know what got into me. I think I was possessed. No.
Like the devil made me do it.
You're probably just an asshole. And you just didn't have self-control that day.
I think a lot of it's just like, well, I'm just talking like specifically investigation, like out in the world, just going about your business. But I feel like just absorbing energy, like negative energy, can make you not yourself. And I felt
Trent says most possessions are due to mental health. Mm-hmm. I could get behind that too, because if you're not in the right state of mind when you go on an investigation, it's like putting up a target. There's like neon lights around you that says like, I'm an easy target, know. And some people are just more susceptible to that. And
a lot of theologies say that demons, they feed on that. That's how they retain their energy, is they feed on that negativity, and they pick on that person like a target.
Okay, so
and then when they're done, they move on.
People are assholes. People are narcissists. People are, whatever. When they die, what makes us think that that's going to be any different? So it might not be a demon every single time. Maybe it's just some narcissistic asshole who realized that you were an easy target and decided to mess with you. That doesn't mean you were possessed by a demon.
Ding, ding, ding.
It's just
Tina just said something pretty cool.
I just feel like those words are thrown around way too much.
Oh yeah.
Possession and demons.
Yeah, that's like a common defense too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And don't get me wrong, like I've had thoughts that were not my own. I've been on an investigation and had thoughts put into my head. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to go and do something terrible to somebody. Like, you just have to be strong. And I'm not saying I was possessed. I just had thoughts put into my head that were not my own.
Right.
I think I'm lucky that way because I have never had that happen.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, both of you have seen it at one point happen to me at Madison. Like, in some way or fact. But I don't call any of that possession. I mean, maybe channeling a little bit. Or like maybe some like energy manifestation that I was.
Yeah, I just think it's changing your energy.
It's
just changing your energy and your emotions.
Yeah, and like the whole thing when I had the dark cloud form around me and you guys actually saw it happen.
It was a Beauty and the Beast rose cover.
Yes, I'm sorry. It was the rose thing. Yeah. But my head was already in a bad place because that was like the first investigation that I had been on after COVID. All those protests were happening. I literally just sat with the two guys that were with us, like watching Erie, Pennsylvania go crazy with protesting and riots and stuff. So it was like, sure, I was already there and it just manifested it that way. I can't even blame it on a ghost from Madison. I just think it was, you're in a highly active spiritual, energetic place.
Right.
And you're having those strong negative feelings and you already have that negative energy around you. It's going to amplify everything.
Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't mean you were possessed.
No, not at all. I'd never say that. Never.
Right. But if you had a show or a YouTube channel, then you might say that.
Only if they were paying me really well. I don't even care about ratings if they're paying me well.
Right. Yeah, I just think it gives people like a really bad perception of like what is actually going to happen when you go on an investigation. Because I think that a lot of times people forget when they're doing their shows that there are people watching who are young, who have never been on an investigation before, who think that it would be really cool to go, but have never looked into it. So they're learning what it's like from you. And then you're just teaching them that, first of all, activity happens every 32 seconds and it's always big stuff and somebody's going to be possessed. Like, that's not how investigations go. But if you actually showed what a real investigation is like, then it would be pretty boring and nobody would watch it. So
exactly. I always thought that Zach acted possessed when he got scared. And that was the only way he could hide it.
That's a good thought. That's a really good thought.
That's a good theory.
Yeah.
Because it was always when he was off by himself.
Yeah, so he got scared.
Oh, yeah, dude. Mike says I wouldn't say possessed, but I've had emotions overpower me. Luckily, people around me knew me well and helped me through it. Dude, that's exactly what happened with me. Happens in a particular room in Brenda. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's not a possession.
I'm still blocked off. I don't think that nothing. That's what I say. Nothing gets to me. I'm like highly medicated and blocked off. So, so take that.
Good luck, ghosts.
Yeah, good luck. If you get in there and you want to mess around, go for it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. And Trent said yes.
And a lot of these places that we go to, you know, they are stained with terrible energy. Bad things happened in them. Bad people were in them. You know what I mean? That's not.
So you're going to get some bad stuff sometimes.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what else you expect, really. Like, oh, he was such a lovely man in solitary confinement. He was so lovely to talk to and treated everybody like.
You know, he was just a great guy.
Yeah. Just an all-around good guy. He just did a bad thing. Like, he murdered one person. That was it.
Yeah.
And it was one moment of weakness. And,
you know, we all have those.
Yeah.
I mean.
But seriously, like, the places that we have, the places that we go are hospitals, asylums, prisons. You know what I mean? Like, that's
why I always say I love taking a break and going to a place like Shalersville.
Yeah.
Where it's just.
Or like a lighthouse. I would really like to go to a lighthouse.
I'd love to do a lighthouse.
Yeah.
I would love to, but I'm so afraid of the steps. Like, I would be dead. Like, after like half an hour. I'd get up
and then we would investigate you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, his body is literally still here.
You go to the Port Clinton Lighthouse, it's really just 3 steps up.
Oh, really?
Where?
You don't know where the Port Clinton Lighthouse is?
No.
It's like right when you're coming, like where the Jet Express goes out.
Yeah.
My guess is it's in Port Clinton.
Oh, goddamn. Yeah.
But it's only like it's only like a little house type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen it.
So
I was thinking of the one on Putin Bay.
No, yeah, that's the boat. Or the one that's
That one's huge.
Yeah, like hotels, restaurants.
Yeah.
You know, it's places like that have, like, you know, historical locations that. It's just the fact that just these crazy, like, negative places just seem to be the most accessible.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not having like breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Mansfield. You know, you're like, let's meet for lunch at Mansfield. You know, it's like it's literally just for that.
Yeah.
And historical tours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's go at lunchtime to the Writers Inn, and while everybody's there, we'll do a full investigation. You can't do that. Or you wait till freaking 2:00 in the morning when everything is calm finally. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mining hospitals full of angry and upset energy. Yeah, you have a whole different world out there in Arizona.
We were in Punxsutawney at the place that Brian was running for a while. I don't know if he's doing anything with it anymore. Actually, I think Destination Fear was there as well. It used to be a hospital or a nursing home or something, But we were investigating and we kept getting all this crazy stuff that seemed like it was about mining. And like, I don't know, just like the words that were being used, like really made us think it was about mining. And then we were getting all this stuff about like a collapse and like people hurt, whatever, like all this weird stuff was coming up. So we Googled it and there was a mining accident in that town. And like a bunch of people died. It was really weird. It was something that like we didn't even, it wasn't part of the history tour because it wasn't part of their specific history. Like it's not like the building was used as a mining hospital, but the town was. And it was just so weird to have it, it's not like we were thinking of that and whatever it's called, where you like, Kimmel uses the word all the time. Like when you say, what's your name? And then your brain is automatically listening for a name. You know what I'm talking about?
Like when you front load something?
Yeah. So we were not front loaded for that at all because that was not something that we had ever even thought about or been told about or anything. Yeah. So it was really cool for all of that like evidence to come first and then to figure out that, holy shit, that's actually real. It was...
That's cool.
It was really cool. It was really crazy though.
That is cool when stuff like that lines up.
Yeah.
When it's not part of the actual story that you're told during a tour, and then how does this even fit in? Then the fun part of like looking it up and figuring it out and like getting all that confirmation is like,
I spend a lot of time on investigations, just like Googling things.
Yeah.
Or like when we went to Franklin Castle, that was fun too because I was using Google Translate to speak in German.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yep. So we were getting a lot of, I think it was on Eddie's box. He said he sounded like a lot of German, what sounded like German coming through.
Yeah.
And it would have made sense.
Yeah. And because the guy that lived there was, he helped out German immigrants. He would help them. He'd let them stay. He'd find them a job. He would help them get on their feet. He'd get them clothes, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And what did I typed in, I need help finding a job. If you can help me turn the light on. And I just played it on my phone and sure as shit, like a cat ball went off. And then I was like, okay, that's a weird coincidence. So I played it again and then like a K2 went off. That was fun.
Like I said, that's why I don't really like tours. Did I hear a name because it sounded like that or because it was
Yeah,
they do. They give you the standard like from the script tour.
Yeah.
Of the few actual facts that most of them have found. And they mix it in with a plethora of activity that people have experienced. I mean, again, that's in and of itself, my experience at Waverly Hills, it was just cool to be in the building. The tour we were given was way front loaded with nothing more than activity. This is like all the creepy crawlies and the crawler and what happened with the nurse and floor, whatever it was. And, for somebody who's like brand new, like if it was a public hunt, they're going into that thing. That's what's there. That's the only thing that's happening, So we're there and we start hearing this like screaming. Besides the whole raccoon incident, which I won't go into again, but it wasn't the creeper. That's all I'll say. We hear this like screaming. It sounds like a woman screaming. You got to remember everything's open. And if you ever heard a coyote or a fox howl or scream or make their noise, that's what it sounds like.
You know what Denise says? She heard that fox, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like you just got to be really careful. I prefer not to go on tours. I really prefer not to go on tours given by ghost hunters that only just want to talk about ghost hunting. So we did that at Moundsville, and I swear to God, we were on that tour for probably an hour and a half.
I remember it.
And at Moundsville, you can't start, or at least back in the day, you can't start investigating until midnight.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's when your investigation starts, and you're there till like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Teresa says, building on that thought, many of these places will turn one unverified name that either some psychic or some spirit box came up with. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like Madison. We call it Sarah's room, but if you talk to Adam and Rebecca and all the Mad Crew, it's only called Sarah's room because everybody since day one has called it Sarah's room.
Yeah, there was a post-it note on the door that said Sarah's room. So
yeah, that's what the Castells called it.
But that I'm sure was one of those unverified. Somebody got it on a spirit box, whatever. But then everybody went with it. Yeah. So that's what it is now.
Yep.
That's the unfortunate thing. It's very easy for stuff to become canon in a place, like she said.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is another term that Adam and I've heard a lot of other people drop called a thought form.
Yep.
So you put so much energy into believing something exists that you can actually make that thing exist.
Yeah.
Or that energy
like Slender
manifest. Man. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did Trent say?
Oh, he said, do you research a place before you go to investigate? I usually forget, if I'm being honest. But whenever I go somewhere, I usually have Shelly with me, and I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not psychic or anything. I'm just there to have a good time and to see the building. If we're being 100% honest, it's mostly that latter.
Right.
So I always go on the history tour, and I want to learn everything I can about the building itself, not necessarily like the haunting, but I will go on the history tour. Shelly will stay in the car. And then later, when Shelly's having her psychic moments and she's like, I'm picking up on blah, 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 then I'm there to be like, oh yeah, the tour guide told me blah, blah, blah. And it matches up. Yeah. So we make a good team because I just want to know the history and she doesn't want to know any of it. But then when it correlates, I just tell her about it.
Well, that's cool. I'll be honest with you, nowadays, because of the whole knee thing, I don't go on the tour because that's one more trip that I don't have to worry about around the building. Like, I don't want to be dead before it even starts. The investigation actually starts. It's the same why we don't go and preset any stuff up. And I mean, it just takes too much time. Yeah. It takes too much energy off of everything. It's just, but yeah, I mean, if I look up history, it's usually just the very basics, like who lived there, what time period it was built. And that's it. Now, we go back and we hear things, and like if we know names, we'll use them as tools. I mean, it's important to know a little bit, but it's also fun as an investigator, like you said, to make that correlation or get that confirmation of things later. Worst case, just write things down that come through the spirit box or whatever you feel, and then do the research later and see how it confirms. That to me is more satisfying.
I just feel like names are such a tough one. I don't know what it is, but I don't know that they know their names, if I'm being honest. We get so many names. Like literally a team will get 100 different names in one night at Madison. Like I don't.
Well, there's probably 100 different people that at least live there.
Well, yeah, and then they come to me and they're like, oh, I was up in Joe's room. And I'm like, who the fuck is Joe? What are you talking about?
Right.
We have to get a name. Yeah, we have to get a name a lot of times in one room, like a lot of times for us to be like, okay, that's so-and-so's room, Okay, Tina's about to blow your mind though. You ready?
Okay. That's a good thought.
It's a great thought.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, for people who are listening, because we're bad about not reading the comments. Tina said, I feel like Satan is a thought form. I could see it. Yep. I could see it. And also Satan is kind of a scapegoat. Yeah. Because people blame their bad behavior on him.
Yes. Oh, I was tempted by the devil.
I was tempted by the devil. Okay.
It's just, it's just like everything.
Be a good person.
For every good, there's an evil. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Right.
Goat.
Tulpas.
You look at Tulpas, yeah.
Yeah.
We've had that discussion a long time ago, and I forgot what Tulpa was, but now I remember it. And I'll bring it up in this conversation.
Yep.
She's tried studying parapsychology for a broader understanding of what we create, maybe misidentified. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like the whole poltergeist theory. Oh, let's read our next one. One of our team or say something that one. Yeah. Right. And it's a little poltergeist thing. Oh, it's a angry ghost, and we've all seen the. Well, I've seen the movie. I won't say we've all seen the movie because I
I've
know
seen the movie.
you have. Oh wow! Congratulations. Good. There's one horror movie you've seen.
Gold star.
Gold star. Absolutely.
I try to put it out of my head every
Researchers
freaking 5 minutes.
believe that it's actually much like or compared to a thought form. It's energy.
Uh-huh.
Because if you they did the studies, and most of the people that were experiencing this kind of activity were younger females around the teenage area, were just starting having their periods, or there was something traumatic going on in the house, like mom and dad were fighting. There's such an outburst of emotion that creates so much energy that these things were manifesting like this.
Yeah.
Things were just flying off, and it's not a ghost. It's the person.
No.
It's psychokinetic energy or psychokinetic energy.
People,
and it just builds up and it explodes. People don't understand the power of the mind.
Yeah. In every aspect of your life, people just do not take into consideration how much their energy affects things. It affects literally everything. Like, you have so much power that people just blatantly disregard. If we could even understand half of how much our energy affects things.
Roscoe needs to say something. Apparently.
I know. I don't know what he's barking at because there's not a door down here, so I don't know who he's barking at.
It's poltergeist. It's a noisy ghost.
Right?
I'm sorry, you were in a thought.
But yeah, I mean,
Roscoe.
It's like your negativity. If you are just sitting there focusing on your negativity all the time, then that's what's going to be brought to you. That's what's going to come back at you. And whether it comes across like poltergeist activity or whether it comes across as bad luck, it's change your attitude.
I've always believed, Teresa says, I've always believed that poltergeist activity is RSPK. In addition to teens, we see it a lot in menopausal and pregnant postnatal women. Yeah. Anything stress hormone related. Yep. Which is actually why with the original group I with, he actually got into that. Like, do you notice if any of these experiences or any of the activity you're witnessing correlate with your time of the month?
Right.
I'm not answering that question, man.
And people were always like, the women are always like, what does that have to do with anything? Why are you?
Oh my God, everything.
But it does.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Yeah.
Right.
There's even back in the day,
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll ask Tina after you're done. Go ahead.
Okay. Back in the day, if you were on your period, you weren't allowed to do anything with the garden. You weren't allowed to plant seeds. You weren't allowed to harvest anything. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff about just how your energy during that time changes everything.
Yeah. There was a lot of mythos around it, especially back then. Like,
what do you want to ask?
I just know when they start eating weird and there's ice cream and cookies every day, it's time for me to retreat to the basement. Grab what cookies and ice cream I can get down here, start working on my own projects.
Yeah, before shit starts flying off the shelves.
All three of them, all synced up. So I know the only activity I witness is what's going on down in my basement.
Yeah.
So Tina says, I wish you guys would come over already. I live less than 5 minutes from Heisenberg now. Yes, we do.
Yes.
And hey, Tina, just putting this out there. If you'd, if you'd ever want to let us do a live feed show, that'd be awesome.
From Tina's house?
Yes, her house is huge. She lives in this much older home, she lives over right by down the street from Perkins Stone Mansion in Akron. Yeah. And also the John Brown house. And just a very historical neighborhood, But I've been to her house, a lot of weird energy.
She said
And there's
absolutely.
like, I mean, there's like a servants or up servant stair. It's just it's crazy.
What? I'm
Yeah, like
in.
a little like I call it the servants stairwell. I don't know if it really is, but it reminds me of that because it's real like skinny and narrow
Yeah.
and like steep to get up
Yeah.
to the up
Yeah.
floors. But she said absolutely okay. We'll figure it out because that would be interesting. And she's been wanting us to get down there, and
that's a really easy trip for me, apparently.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that would be a travel for Denise, but I think it'd be worth it.
It's servant stairs. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's get through these. Yeah, or cook certain foods. Yes. Do men have cycles? I don't think so. I believe that they do.
Not in the way that women do.
Mainly because my
No,
husband.
Dude, I'm pissed
crave
off
chocolate.
24/7.
Yes, Tina, I'll be over.
Sometimes though, yeah. Sometimes I do feel like that's where like a lot of the empathic stuff comes in because
Maybe
I do feel like weird like around the same time that they're going through what they're going through as women.
Yeah.
And it's not even the fact that they're like maybe I'm picking up on the energy that they're throwing out. I mean, I don't know, but men definitely do have periods where their hormones are weird.
Right. Nancy said, what about activity while everyone is sleeping? And then Mike answered. And said, me personally, I've had sleep activity, but just me, I have linked it to medication changes every time. I don't know. I feel like I have weird shit happen all the time. I have weird dreams all the time. And I know a lot of people say that, spirits will come to them while they're sleeping. Like loved ones. Yeah.
Like I've never seen like I've only heard my mom speak to me out loud once while I was awake.
Mm-hmm.
I just heard her voice say Rame, and it was a night I was struggling with something. And as soon as I heard that, at first I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, oh, that's mom.
She was like, excuse me.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Most of my experiences with like witnessing my mom's spirit or whatever, communicating with her has been when I was asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And they've always like been like a little strange. Like we weren't just sitting talking. There was always like something going on, but it always, after I thought about it, it always made sense. Like the week after she passed, I had this dream that wasn't a bad dream, but I woke up just like freaking crying like crazy. I was uncontrollable. Like it woke up the whole family. And I'm like, my wife's like, what was the dream? What was the dream? I'm like, I don't know. It just started. I was walking down the concourse towards a gate at the airport. My mom was all packed up like she was going somewhere. She was screaming like crazy, like, I don't want to leave yet. I got to see Raymond. I got to see Raymond. And I just hugged her and she calmed down and like everything was amazing. And she got on the plane and left. But she always loved airplanes. Like she loved riding the airplane. She like back in the day when you used to be able to go out on like the observation deck and just sit there and have a picnic and watch the planes.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
That's what she always wanted to do, like every birthday.
Yeah, those were the days.
Like I didn't understand when I woke up, but then that made sense when I started thinking about it. She loved the airport.
Yeah.
She was telling me she was okay to go because we made that connection and we had that communication and it was just a hug, like a really strong hug. But I woke up thinking, like, I just talked to my mom. Like, oh my God, that's like, it's too soon. Like, but like, it took me a minute.
Nancy's talking about like actual, like physical activity.
Yeah.
Nancy, shit happens in my house all the time when everybody's sleeping. I'm too
busy sleeping to realize if there's activity.
No, see, I'm the one who's up all night and everybody else in my house is sleeping. And so, what are those fucking mirrors called that people use for ghost hunting? Scrying mirrors. So I have a theory that literally anything could be a scrying mirror, right?
I have that theory. Yeah, I have that belief with you.
Yeah. So there's been times where I have to like turn my TV on because I will see somebody walking down the hallway like, and the reflection in the TV, and I'm like, nope. And I turn on the TV so I can't see it anymore. Like weird shit happens all the time at nighttime.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike said here.
Doppelganger stuff for me, but it's medication induced. Okay. Usually involves me thinking I'm awake and going to the bathroom to flush my face, and it's not me in the mirror.
Ooh.
I forgot the drug name, but it was like tryptophan. Oh, okay.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's So she actually had an item. Okay, so she's talking about like actual physical.
Yeah.
Some kind of weird activity going off.
Yeah. I have weird.
I don't know how to explain that besides it's just haunted. I mean.
And the other thing though too is like I stay up super late because it's the one time of day where my phone's not going off every 5 seconds. Nobody needs me to make them food.
That, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no work, there's no responsibilities. The world is quiet. So the other theory is that maybe stuff happens all the time, but we're just too busy to notice, or the TV's on so you didn't hear the footsteps, or you know, you were playing on your phone so you didn't notice something, you know. I don't necessarily know that activity amplifies at nighttime, or if it's just that we pay attention to it more.
I hear a lot of shit during the day here because I'm here all the time.
Yeah,
I work from home. So I'll be like just sitting there and I'll hear somebody. So I heard somebody the other day.
That's interesting too, because the only time I ever thought like maybe this house was haunted was like the month before. It's like after we bought it, but the month before we moved in, we had to fix some stuff. So I'd be here till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning working alone, like either in the basement or there were a lot of things that had to be cleaned up because there was like a flood in the basement and stuff. Like it had to be done. It was basically like an abatement. So I was working late. You know, because my daughter was a baby. You know, my oldest was like only 2 years old, and you know, so they'd leave and I'd stay here and just finish cleaning up or whatever, and I'd start hearing voices and walking around upstairs. But the minute we moved in, it just kind of all, except for like one experience, that it pretty much all dissipated. And if it's going on, I'm just either really used to it and I don't notice it, or we're like you said, we're just distracted constantly.
Yeah.
And I think I don't notice as much even though I'm here because I am working during the day, you know. But every once in a while, just kind of I'll sit back and then I'll just hear like a creak or something, and I know it's not where a normal creak is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trent says we still go off energy when we're sleeping. We're also less alert, so shields are down, so energy can be fed off more.
Yeah,
it's a good point. Teresa, poltergeist literally translates loosely to noisy ghost. Yep, poltergeist activity can be just a regular ghost, but what psychologists have come to call poltergeist is RSPK.
I don't know what that is. That's the second time she said it, but I guess I should just quietly Google it and not admit that I don't know what it is. But
I was calling it PKA, but I think I'm wrong. I think what she's saying, I don't remember what it actually stands for, but it is
RSPK.
Kinetic. Yeah. Energy leaves us, it seems, to take on a mind of its own. Yep, the tulpa. Mama Roof, it's always easier for them to communicate when our bodies are resting. Plus, it's super quiet at night, so you notice it more.
That's why I usually put my earbuds in if I'm out here at night, because I sit out in the garage, so you know there's noises all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, like the outside is just right there, so I hear shit all the time out there. So I just put the earbuds in and just
Nope.
Okay, so it's just really basically a newer term for what I was saying, because I'm just reciting old Hans Holzer books and Lloyd Auerbach. But that always changes, like the verbiage. You know how everything changes. We call UFOs UAPs now, so it's like the same thing.
You do.
Oh, I do.
They do.
They do.
Not Heisenberg and I. Still a UFO.
Yeah, but recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis. Yep.
Which is kind of why do they? It should just be P, not PK, because that's one word. But that's fine.
What?
Well, you're just getting picky, Denise.
I don't even know what's going on.
Darren's smarter than me.
There's been a few. Mama Ruth says there's been a few places I've stayed overnight and needed to sleep, so earbuds were used too. Didn't want to know what was moving around me.
Yeah.
See, that's a different thing. It's like I wouldn't sleep in a haunted location. You know why?
Because they're
fucking
haunted. Yeah.
Another crazy thing. I like
only
more and more I think about when I have like really weird communication is either right after somebody's passed away or I slept in a haunted house one time. It was like when we had the MS Paracon at the Bell Nursing Home. I was there till like the early hours of the morning of the day of the event, getting things ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told her I'm going to just crash here, in the one room of the house that was air conditioned. But the whole night I kept seeing the vision of this one guy, and he was like trying to wake me up. I was constantly waking up. Like, what the hell?
I don't want that.
This one guy was trying to wake me up, and I would wake up and there'd be nothing there.
No,
I finally dozed back to sleep, and then it was the same guy. It's like older gentleman. Maybe he could have been a resident there because it was a nursing home.
You know what?
But he had like white hair, kind of balding a little bit, with a full beard, and he was like, "You got to get up!" Like blah blah blah, just going crazy in my face.
See, there's a hotel not that far from any place.
Dude, this was in New Kimbleton. There was
I know where it was from. I was at the Bell Nursing Home.
Yeah. There was a BP that was the only thing in the neighborhood.
While I'm sleeping.
I don't. Yeah. That's like the only thing I ever did was try to punch that shadow figure that was next to my bed.
Yeah, that's true too.
A lot of people talk about that.
Yeah. Or just a dark cloud hanging over me. I need to get I need to cleanse myself better, or ground myself. Not really.
After you leave.
But yeah.
The paranormal.
I'm not good at that because I'm so tired. I'm like, it's fine. Nothing will happen. Nothing will follow me home.
Have you? Oh yeah, I always forget to do that too.
But yeah, definitely. I have been carrying my little crystal bear with me on the last few events, or last few hunts. My little bloodstone bear that I carry around with me in my pocket. But
that's just so I don't know. I've never had a paranormal hangover. I've never felt exhausted mentally. The only thing that exhausts me mentally is people.
Yeah. Too much peopling for you.
Yeah.
Like they put a walking path on this in the park over here. Now there's people making small talk with me out there on the front porch.
Oh no.
We're about to throw down with our neighbors. Anyways, that's a totally different story for not the show.
Yeah. I won't go on about the neighbors either, but damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talk about having dreams. I know Shelly gets them a lot too.
Yeah, I don't remember my dreams a lot of times. So
yeah, the worst case of the hangover I ever had was after when we investigated Penhurst. I could not shake that dark cloud, and I know when I'm depressed. This was different than a depression.
Mm-hmm.
This was just literally the world around me was dark. Just, some kind of just energy veil was over me. Nothing. Whoa, hold on. Where'd I go? Hello? Okay, there we go. I hit another tab.
Watching the movie, you lost it there?
I literally just disappeared. You see, all that funk just came back. But I had a friend of mine did what you called a theta healing. It was basically just a psychic cleanse, but it was remote, and she does it was funny. She had a little teddy bear that she uses. So she works on an area on the teddy bear. But it's so weird because my eyes are closed and I could feel tingles what she was working on.
It's like a voodoo doll.
Yeah, but it's for therapy. It's healing, and she cleansed me, and I felt great. It's almost like a Reiki session, but over the internet.
Okay.
Or Reiki, sorry, Reiki.
Right.
But yeah, I felt great. But that's the worst Other times I call it paranormal hangover, but it's really because we were up till 4 or 5 in the morning, and I drove home 3 hours, and I only slept 2 hours because I had to be up for my kid's softball game.
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I'm going to catch some shit for this.
This is an unpopular opinion.
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that she actually healed you, or do you think that you healed yourself because you believed you were being healed?
I thought about that too, and it's a possibility.
I mean, either way, I'm glad it worked for you.
Well, yeah. So either way, she was using a catalyst. She was like, it was whatever she did, it worked.
Mm-hmm.
The power of suggestion. Because a lot of times I feel the same way about Reiki. Like
Reiki, bro.
You know, huh? Reiki.
What?
Sorry.
Reiki.
It's just energy.
That's what I called it. Reiki.
But I think a lot of it is the power of suggestion. Like you know what they're doing, why they're doing it. Like, and what's
right.
But
it also goes back to your brain.
If it works, it works.
So powerful.
Yeah.
And you have the ability to heal yourself. You just needed a boost or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear another one, Teresa? I don't believe in sage.
Uh-oh. What sage ever did to you?
We probably just lost Tina and a bunch of other people.
All of, I feel like all of the things that people do, all of their sayings, their things they carry, all of that stuff, I feel like without their intentions and without their mind, they would be pointless or useless. Andrea says, no. I say it to say that I believe you are stronger than you give yourself credit for. And don't give all the credit to the sage. That was you getting rid of negative energy. That was you making sure spirits don't come home with you. That's you. Don't give all the credit away to something else. Teresa has the same thoughts on sage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There has never been sage. I've never even owned any sage.
Someone saged me against my will.
What?
100%.
Is that illegal?
I don't know. I didn't.
I had to escort people out of farm when we were in Ghostbuster because she started burning sage. I'm like, number one,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a historical building.
Right.
Okay, and the other barns are not there because they burnt down.
Right.
Okay. Number two, that I don't like the smell of it myself. I kind of feel like I have like a little bit of an allergy to it when it's burning. Okay, and I'm not saying I believe it and I don't believe it. I just believe whatever you believe and you use is what you believe in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. If you think it works, great. But when you're in a public building that you don't own, no, you don't do that. I'm sorry. Unless you have specific okay and clearance from the property owner themselves and they want you to do it.
Written and notarized.
You don't. Now, if you want to go out in the parking lot by your own car and sage yourself.
Well, we were in the parking lot. We were in the parking lot. This woman was in the basement.
Yeah.
No. This team was saging themselves and they walked up to me and were saging me. And I was like, what are you doing? But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Teresa's absolutely right. You can go into somebody's house and you could do whatever you want, but that person lives there. That person has to believe it. And honestly, I feel like that person should do the things themselves. You can be there to assist them while they sage their house or whatever you believe will get rid of them. If the client doesn't believe it and the client doesn't participate in it and the client doesn't put their intentions into it, it's not going to do anything because all the work that you're doing is just taken away the minute you walk out the door because they're not following through with it. Yes.
Right. And I do believe that in some situations,
thank you.
Okay, if it is the spirit of an old pissed off guy, he knows, and it's an intelligent haunt. He knows you're trying to get rid of him by burning him out with this smelly stuff.
Yeah.
It's just going to ramp up. A lot of times they will ramp up the activity, especially if you don't know what you're doing.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean? And that comes from people who use it
in
cleansing.
Sorry.
Sorry. Teresa's throwing us off.
Oh.
Broom
Yeah, that
size
comes
page
from-
bundle.
What? Holy crap!
Ah,
Oh my
All I
god!
see is the Wizard of Oz.
I believe a lot of it. I mean, I don't know. Some of it is just pop in circumstance. It's just part of the ritual. It's
Mhm.
you know, it's, and if that's what you believe, that and it works, so
That's
means
what
you
I'm
have
saying.
permission.
Everything works
And
because
it's
if you believe it works, it works.
Yes, exactly. So it doesn't matter what it is. If whatever your tradition is, whatever your thing is, just know that it's you that has the power.
Yep.
And if you feel like you have to have a physical thing to remind you of your power, then that's totally fine. Do you? But I just want you to take more credit where credit is due.
I would like you to give me that credit.
You are 100% protected all the time. And it's not because of anything you carry
like
in
you
your
said, if
pocket.
you are religious and you believe in it, do your prayers before and
Yes,
after. If I
absolutely.
certainly believe in grounding, I believe in
Mhm.
the thought process of energy from above coming and washing out all the negativity into the ground. I
Right.
believe I feel certain energy when I like have to hug a tree, like literally
Yeah.
put my feet in the grass and hug a tree.
Yeah.
That's not really, that's no different than people who burn sage. It's just what you believe in,
Right.
what you feel
Right.
works for you.
Yeah.
And we're certainly not saying if you burn sage that you're wrong.
No, not at
It's just
all.
our personal opinions. I mean, besides the smell, I feel the energy, the ritual of
I
burning
hate the
sage.
smell.
I really have no opinion on sage.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
the smell of
That's
it. I
fine.
feel like I do have like an allergy to it.
Yeah, I
'Cause
hate it.
These days I feel like I'm allergic to pretty much everything.
I wouldn't know what it smelled like if because I don't think I don't remember ever smelling it.
No,
It's like a more
it's
aromatic
gross.
weed.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Some people love it. I mean,
Some
but
people
whatever.
do. I don't know if I'm allergic to it or what, but anytime somebody burns it, it like hurts my nose and my throat. And I get it. I'm possessed by a demon. That's why it burns.
I have a
But
few patients
seriously.
that go into their homes and I'm like, "You've been burning sage, haven't you?" And they're like, "Yeah, we have like a sage incense or whatever." I'm like, "Is it 10 feet away from your oxygen at all times while it's burning?" Because that's all I care about. Because I don't
Yeah.
want you blowing your face up or catching on fire. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about people that do things
yeah,
or carry crystals or whatever. But I say that because I want you to understand that if you go somewhere and you happen to forget your crystals or you happen to forget your sage, just remember that it was actually your power that was keeping you protected that whole time. So
yep.
that's all. That's all. Not
Who else do
It's
we
a
want to
hot
piss
take
off?
though. I know a lot of people who own stores where they sell sage and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
not, I mean, you can have your own opinion about it. Sage it's not for you.
Yeah.
You know? Like I said, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
I'm indifferent on a lot of things.
I mean, I actually think it's great. I think people, I love when people have their traditions and their strong beliefs and
Well, it's like I think I can kick them out of my house just by telling them to leave. That's what I
Yeah.
believe.
yeah.
Who knows if I can? But that's what I do.
Right.
And if you believe it hard enough,
Right.
it'll work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Andrea. Whatever works for you. Anytime somebody starts a sentence with back in my day, I always go, back in my day. That's how I read it in my head.
Back in my day.
Oh yeah, they sell
Yeah.
sage everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And I noticed Tina went quiet or left because I know she's a big
She's probably
believer
mad at
in
me.
sage burning
I
and
know.
stuff. It's okay.
She's probably mad
She
at me.
understands. Oh, she
Um,
loves us. She loves us. Tina, if you're still there, just say you love us. We're not trying to
She's
offend
on hold,
anybody.
too.
We're just talking our opinions.
I'm gonna
You're 40. Whatever. She's
they're
old.
older than us, Teresa. But did I tell you guys about when my 11-year-old was like, back in the 1980s when we used leeches to get rid of infection. I was like, what? He thinks that in my time, we used leeches to get rid of infection. I don't know.
Yeah, we also used to bleed ourselves to get rid of infections. My barber was also my dentist and my physician.
And he also asked me if I saw in color or if I saw in black and white. My kids think that I grew up in the 1800s or something. Yeah.
You know what, Teresa? There's something to say about that, because when I start hearing songs from the 90s on the classic rock station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That should always be 60s and 70s and stay there.
Yeah. Yeah. She was playing False Alarm. She was playing Fetch with her cat.
Like, I don't want to listen to Nirvana on 105.7.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I mean, I will.
The Bee Gees, and then you hear like the Four Seasons and Frankie Valli.
Yeah, that's what I think of it.
Yeah.
Nirvana? What the hell?
That's the olden days, not the 80s.
The cassette tape.
Oh my gosh. She said when you find toys you owned as a child in antique stores, it hits hard.
We were at some antique store. I think it was maybe in Medina. Maybe it was Medina Antiques. I don't know. But they had like a lunchbox, a Pac-Man lunchbox that I had when I was my very first lunchbox in my kindergarten. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's happening.
It does hit hard. I like to think that we're still young.
I think that's why I just give it up.
Yeah.
A lot of days I feel like I'm still like a 25-year-old in a 46-year-old body. Because I haven't changed, like my style hasn't changed. I wear the same types of clothes. Yeah. All black t-shirts, jeans, and cargo pants, and hats.
That's funny. Kate calls me a 12-year-old trapped in a 48-year-old body.
We love Kate.
I never quite left the grunge phase, is basically.
I wear flannels constantly. I feel great in a flannel.
Yeah. My wife bought me a flannel, like the one of the quilted flannels with the hoodie for Christmas. And I'm like, yeah, so I wore it in high school. I love it. I feel like I'm young again. But that kind of stuff is cool. Like when your daughter's wearing stuff that you wore in high school, like the same kind of style. I'm like,
that shit's coming back.
You feel old because it's your 16-year-old wearing the same style, because it kind of cycled back around from the 90s. But
it's super cool now. Oh,
it's like Adam said the other day. Do all these kids wearing Nirvana shirts actually know who Nirvana is, or they just wear it because it's cool?
Although, did you see the one where oh my god, why can I not think tonight? The girl who plays Princess Leia.
Carrie Fisher?
Yeah.
Yes. No, the other one. Maybe she doesn't play. I don't know.
What?
The little girl?
What's the girl in Star Wars?
Rey?
Yeah. What's her name? What's her name in
Rey.
real life?
Oh, I don't know.
What's her name in real life?
I don't know.
Daisy?
Okay.
Daisy Ridley?
Yes,
no.
That's it.
That's the name of that person you're talking about.
Okay. Anyways, there's a girl from Star Wars. Super famous. She was wearing a Star Wars shirt. And somebody was like, is this bitch even old enough to know what Star Wars is or something? And it's the girl from the movies. And she's wearing a shirt from the movie. And they're like, she's not even old enough to know what this is. And she's the actress in the fucking movie.
Dude, my 4-year-old has an idea what Star Wars is. So
my kids started watching Star Wars before they could even talk.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my fault.
My son
it's funny. I don't like Chuck Taylors because they're uncomfortable.
They are uncomfortable.
But I also wear Vans that are basically almost the same.
No, they have way more cushioning. What are you talking about?
I wear Skechers.
But I did put my old man insoles in my Vans so that I could, walk around a little bit.
Oh my God, stop it. You have Dr. Scholl's in your fucking Vans.
Hey, the price of being young and cool at an old age is still high, but you got to do it.
That's amazing.
Past my bedtime.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you guys. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Had a colonoscopy a couple weeks ago. No,
Wrong kind of plug. Tina, I don't know how you do that. Those hurt my feet for sure.
My wife loves them too. Like my wife and my daughters.
Yeah, they're not very comfortable.
And my youngest is totally.
I have a pair, and yes, I'll wear them. I don't know why. I usually wear them when I go kayaking, though.
Oh, okay.
So I wear jeans and shoes when I go kayaking. I don't wear shorts ever. So.
Okay.
I'm surprised you don't wear those boots, those like low top boots you wear everywhere.
My Skechers, I do. That's what I said.
I gotcha.
I do.
All right, we got off topic. We're talking about things that we're promoting. MadCon, September something. What is it?
Are you serious?
September.
I'm mad because I should know the date.
All right.
Mike liked your colonoscopy. Shout out. September 30th.
September 30th, MadCon at Madison Seminary.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
God, that's not that far away anymore.
I know.
No, it's not.
It's coming up quick.
Let's see. I got the Old Mill Parafest in November 13th. A lot of the gang from Potograph's Parafest will be there. It'll be super fun. Hopefully one of these or both of these two numbskulls will go and hang out. We could do a table because we get a table for free, and I'm speaking. I feel like really, I feel super insignificant because like Zaphis is speaking and all these other, but I'm super excited because there's a lady that does like a UFO collective consciousness, like mediumship reading that I'm super excited about. Yeah. So that'll be cool.
One Denise over.
But as far as the show's concerned, obviously it looks like we're going to be scheduling a live stream investigation from Tina's house.
From Tina's house.
We'll call it the historic Frick house.
Oh my gosh.
The historic Frick Brick house.
Yeah, we're going to call it the Frick house.
Yeah.
Unless she actually knows the name of it.
How can we not?
Yeah, I don't care who lived there before.
It's now the Frick house.
Who visited. It's the Frick house.
I can tell you there's a Joe that lives in the basement still, even though he's not living. He's still down there.
Joe Frick?
He's Joe Frick now.
And next week, because I thought it was supposed to be this week, because I don't understand calendars. Next week we have Sherry Brake. She's an author, an investigator. Anybody who, a lot of people in the field know her. These two probably don't, but we'll get to know her. You met her at Paris
at OSR.
Yeah. So she's super cool. She's going to be one of those like you better be prepared for a 2-hour show because she can talk. She's actually talking about doing volumes of herself on the show because she has so much to talk about. She's been to so many locations. She's actually doing
so much. She's written like a million books. Yeah.
Yeah. She's and it's a lot about history and yes. Yeah. She's actually, I think she's building a home in West Virginia. But and she's been traveling across America, writing a book about all these different hots all over the place. So, yeah. So that'll be a good show. That'll be next Thursday night. And then, still in talks with Thomas Wortman, the director of Ohio MUFON group, which is really cool. We'll have him back on. I feel it's pretty topical with all the UFO and UAP news coming out. Prayers to him because his wife is going through some health issues, which is why he hasn't been able to come on. So send your love and your positive thoughts out to him. And that's all. I'm done rambling.
I'd like to plug my new TikTok channel.
You have a TikTok channel?
No.
Here's me like,
yeah, I know. I didn't go with it enough.
I was all excited for nothing.
I wouldn't even know what to name it. To even act like I was serious.
Just find videos like every couple of days of like air traffic accidents and You know, people follow it, man. People follow any shit these days.
You could literally just talk about airplane disasters.
Yeah.
Like,
why? To who?
to people.
Well, Jen
who
from
like
Bump
that
in the
shit.
Night Society, I love her haunted
Yeah.
Appalachian stories. It's
Yeah.
different areas of Appalachia that she's get these stories from, and I love
But
every
also
single one of them.
don't. Like, seriously, TikTok will ruin your life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am all right without having it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old man 2 a.m. morning pee ends up an hour because you take your TikTok, your cell phone in with you.
There was a lot of letters and numbers.
Yeah, it's a problem or something, man.
Just sit there scrolling at 4:00 in the morning.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, Mike said his hopes are dashed. You ruined him, so you need to get on it. But we only have 3 people left, 2 of which are probably us. We will spook you later, crypto heads. We'll see you next week with Sherry Break.
And don't forget, don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. Love you, crypto heads. We'll see you. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.